Well, hello there, and welcome to another episode of The Familiars. We are a group of actors. We play Dungeons & Dragons. Currently, we are playing Storm King's Thunder in the midst of some deep drama. We want to thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get into a recap of exactly where our adventurers are. But before we get into that, I want to introduce our amazing cast. Ladies and germs, first and foremost, we have Alex playing Rooster, our dragonborn barbarian. We have Austin playing Thibodeau. He's a human bard. We've got Ben playing Captain Chowder, Warforged sorcerer. We've got Annalise playing Worthy, our tiefling cleric. We've got, back with us, John Doherty playing, well, someone else other than Jestán. Technical difficulties. And we've got Zach Appleman playing Jestán, our half-elf ranger. Ladies and gentlemen, we are The Familiars. So happy to have you back, and so happy to get into this week's episode. So, without further ado, shall we dive in? I think we shall. Let's get this going. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Familiars. They departed Golden Fields, and they did this with Jestán. Jestán is a ranger that has done a lot of ranging around the local area of Golden Fields, and they are looking for the hill giant redoubt of Grudd Haug. Now, they convinced Naxine Drathlaka, a human wizard and a giant enthusiast, to accompany them. And as they left Golden Fields and the destruction there, a large phalanx of Lord's Alliance arrived, along with the followers of the Church of Lathander. They heard the beginnings of a speech of what looked to be the leader of this religious order, and who Chowder recognized as the personal advisor to the High Lord of Waterdeep. The church's influence seems to reach to high places and has spread its wings wide. Now, they made their way north along the rolling hills of the Desserin Valley until they reached the town of Wamford. And at the gates of this squat town, they received news that they were wanted folk. The gatekeeper of Wamford produced a poster with all of their likenesses, and it looks like the Zentarum was offering 5,000 gold as a reward. Needless to say, they looked for another place to camp. Jestán knew of one, and they pushed through their exhaustion to reach a small clearing where the trees would block their view from the main road. They stumbled upon what looked to be an abandoned circus cart, brightly colored. On the side of it, painted Blanzini's Traveling Wondrous Wonder Show, or something to that effect. I'll check my notes. And it was abandoned due to the fact that its inhabitants were being eaten by two large ETTINS. Now, I think it'd be helpful to bring up a little map here, just to sort of see where we're at. Ladies and germs, we find ourselves just into the evening. Darkness has settled on the surrounding area. And we have Thibodeau and Captain Chowder just at the edge of the firelight with an invisibility cast on them, looking at these two large ogre folk.
And
who have made their way. Yeah, each of them has two heads, and all four of the heads are gnawing on the remnants of what you can only imagine are the unfortunate travelers here with Blanzini's Wondrous Wonder Show.
Blanzini!
Captain Chowder,
Oh, the
Thibodeau,
show once. It was amazing.
you are just out of what feels like to be sight, and there's a sort of a shot of adrenaline, especially over you, Chowder, not used to being invisible, as you behold this horrible sight.
Are they the same size as like a normal ogre? Just with two heads?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So they're probably like 9-10 feet tall, huddled around this campfire. And do either of you speak Goblinoid?
No.
I do not.
Okay. So you can hear that there looks to be some sort of conversation happening, not only between the two beings, but between each of their heads. So one of them is eating, and I'll say that it's this one to the north. One of their heads that has this sort of red painting on it that's hard to discern, like what's blood and what's paint, has this forlorn look about it. And the other one that has blue paint is looking to it and looks to be trying to console. The other Ettin to the south, both heads are in between these horrible fleshy bites of the last limbs of these of the folk that were part of this camp. They look to be just annoyed, frustrated, angry, and there is a raucous conversation happening amongst all four heads. What would you guys like to do?
Well, Captain, it looks like we got ourselves a pair of emotional eaters here.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I don't actually eat, but I understand the compulsion. I gotta say, Thibodeau, do we feel like we can whisper, that we're far enough away that we can talk to each other at low tones?
I'm going to say that you guys feel like you need to step back.
Okay, let's step back a little bit. Thibodeau, whenever I see an Ettin or a conjoined twin, I always think the same thing. How do they date? What about love?
No, you got a point there, Captain. I hadn't thought of that. Maybe that's what the problem is.
Is there anything? Can I identify anything with these guys that may suggest that they're like with goo, like part of the goo army? Do I recognize any like colors or
did they have
insignias or anything?
Red or blue face paint on them?
Oh,
the other
I'd
ogres?
say make a general intelligence check.
Were they part of the show? Were they maybe they're...
Yeah, getting revenge
6.
on there.
Nothing's ringing a bell, Cap. You're trying to take a look. It's hard to see. It's gotten dark, and the firelight is just a little bit too faint for you to really make out anything definitive.
I think Worthy's got a little bit of goblin or ogre or giant or something. Maybe she could
Try to talk to them. Try to
at least tell us what they're gabbing about.
All right, let's go ask our. We're not too far from the rest of the group, I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Giant.
All right. It doesn't look like they're going anywhere anytime soon. They're sitting, talking. They're like posted up for now. Okay.
They look like they're eating. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Okay. You guys make it back.
Hey, gang. Bad news.
What?
Looks like we got a pair of Ettins over here, finishing off a camp.
By the way, Cap and Thibodeau are still invisible. So
right.
for the rest of you,
we approach, like, don't be alarmed. We're coming. We're re-entering the space.
Oh, you get me every time, guys. Whoa.
Don't worry, Maxine, Jestán, Worthy. It's all right.
But we got a pair of Ettins over here at this camp, finishing off a traveling group of players, circus folk, carnies. I don't know.
Who talks goblinoid? Hands.
Deep
All right.
speech.
I believe I do.
Oh,
Noise.
I'm checking.
I'm remembering.
I do. Yes, I do.
Do you? All right.
We can't quite figure out if they're part of Goo's outfit or not. But there's a chance we could follow them back to her steading and...
They seem to be conversing. Jestán, I'd love to know what they're saying.
Can I approach quietly and stealthily, get a little closer?
Absolutely. Jestán, go ahead.
And as I
make-
do, before I walk over there, I turn to the group and I look Rooster directly in the eye, all of them, not knowing anything about Rooster's tendencies, and I say, "Stay here, do exactly what I say, don't make a sound." And I move to approach stealthily to listen to the Ettins.
Oh no.
All right.
I gotta
All right.
start moving.
You can do it. You can do it.
Alright, tell me not to move.
Jestán, go ahead and make a stealth check. And can
Right.
you check your abilities? Because if this is favored terrain, you might be able to do this with advantage, but I can't remember off the
Okay.
top of my head.
Just gonna make that stealth check.
Wordy. Hold me back.
And back, look in my eyes.
This
Look
is
in my
favorite
eyes.
terrain.
You can do this.
I think it just adds my proficiency bonus, though. It's
Thank
not
you.
with
Okay.
advantage.
Okay,
Rooster,
we're going to do that
you
for now.
can't do this.
So that would add another 7 to that.
Thank you.
Add 3.
Oh, add 3.
Your proficiency
All right.
bonus, yes.
Okay.
So go ahead.
So that would be 15.
A 12. Great. Okay.
One thing you can't do, Rooster, is listen to Jestán.
Yes.
God, listen so good.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Wordy, don't tell me what to do. Now shut up, I need to listen.
Okay. So these guys, luckily, are not actively searching right now. So we're just going to use their passive perception. And a 15 beats it. So, Jestán,
Good.
you make your way up to the edge of the firelight. Just hanging, I'll say, behind this tree here. All right. Let me show you what you're looking at. Okay. So, about 30, 40 feet out. And as you approach, you can hear the multitude of voices happening between all of these different heads. You've seen ETTINS before, and you recognize the temperament of these beings not being the most intelligent, and you can decide for yourself whether you've ever witnessed ETTINS in such deep conversation before. But the one to the north, you can hear the head in blue saying, "Don't be so sad. Why? Why would you be? We couldn't have done anything. We couldn't have done anything different." And the other head in red saying, "I always mess up. I always do. What is wrong with me? I hate myself." And the one in blue saying, "How could you hate yourself? I'm you. I don't hate you. I love you." "No, you don't." And you hear the other voice from the other Ettin to the south saying, "It's all your fault. How dare you? We were supposed to rise to the top of Goo's army, and now look where we are, alone, always alone." And the blue head to the side of the other Ettin is saying, "I'm in complete agreement. It's your fault, and both of you should be dead now. We should be taking your food." And the other one saying, "You should take our food." And the other one saying, "No, I'm hungry. I want to eat this. Why would you take this from me?" And then the one to the south saying, "If you don't shut up and let me think a minute, we've got to find a way to get back. These humans are full of fat. They've got no meat on them. We just wish we had some better food. This is what you hear. You can keep listening if you'd like.
Yes, let's keep listening.
And then what happens?
The tenor of the
Joby's in a one-man show
conversation.
called Between Two Ettins.
As you continue to listen, you basically get the sense that these two Ettins were part of Goo's retinue. And
Wait, was that just one pair of heads talking to each other, or was that four?
They were all
There were
getting
four
into that.
distinct different voices, Austin.
There were four distinct characters
They
coming
were
at
all-
y'all.
Yeah.
Super
I
clear,
felt
right?
their backgrounds.
Super clear.
I felt their
Me too.
ages.
I'm feeling something.
That's a lot. It's a lot of heads.
It's a lot of heads. Basically, just to let you know the sort of basic tenor of what you gather, Jestán, Jestán, you discern that these two Ettins were a part of Goo's retinue, and that they have been exiled. It's hard to discern exactly like what the circumstances of this exile were, but after listening for another minute or so, it seems like they're yeah, okay. So it seems like they were part of the group that was rounding up surrounding farmlands, livestock. And there are a large amount of pigs and a large amount of sheep at Grudd Haug. And it seems like the Ettin to the north was sneaking food. And that Goo found out. And they ran, because if they stayed, they would have been killed.
Gotcha. I'm going to return to the group and relay that info to them.
Great. Okay. All right. So.
And what time is it? Night is
It's
falling soon.
It's
Is it
night.
night?
It's pretty dark right now. So anybody without dark vision, you can see the faint flicker of firelight through the trees, but it's getting hard to even see, as you can see now. Like Rooster, you can't see much around you, right? Jestán, you have dark vision. Worthy, you have dark vision. Cap, it's getting pretty darn dark.
I have dark vision.
Oh, my bad. Boundary. Yeah, great. So, what would you guys like to do?
Oh, I feel bad for these guys now.
Yeah. Right before you're about to murder them, you don't want to listen in on the poor saps telling a sad tale. Well, who do we need sleep right now? Maybe we should skirt around these. We're trying to camp out. I got that right?
Right.
Have them murder us in our sleep.
Well, no. I don't think we should camp here while they're eating just a stone's throw away. I think if we can take it, maybe we just quietly continue on towards Goose. Maybe walk through the night, at least past these big papas.
The tiefling's already bloody exhausted.
Yeah.
I see. All right.
You look over at Worthy, and Worthy, you are feeling pretty spent. Probably not interested in showing it, but it's becoming pretty apparent. And what I'll say is, you guys can push on, but to get to a spot that would feel safe, it would probably take at least another hour of travel. And so
we could
all of you
roll up on something else. In that
you could roll
hour.
up on something else, A.
Yeah.
B, you will have to all do another roll on the exhaustion table.
Okay.
So all of you could take 1 point of exhaustion, and Worthy would take 2.
No, it starts to get really hairy with 2.
I could put up a little magical lean-to that would keep us safe for the next 8 hours or so.
Oh.
If y'all want to give that a try.
That sounds like a win-win.
Mighty attractive. They're still there in the morning. We'll just snatch a couple lives.
Quick question. But wouldn't it be nice to rest after killing people? That's how I feel. I can't get to sleep. I get a stomach acid if there's something to smash and I haven't smashed it.
I agree with the Dragonborn.
Please let me kill. Please.
You want to go ahead and kill?
I want to kill it.
Well, yeah, you twisted my arm.
Please. Oh, goody. Thank you, Cap.
I could put some bodies in the ground.
Oh, you're the best.
Jestán says, this is a common resting spot. We leave them here. Some other folks will happen upon them. I say we deal with it now. Get some rest and we move on in the morning.
And they haven't seen us. That gains us some. We can get a couple good knocks in before they even know what's going on.
Hey, that's nice.
It's nice.
Let's go kill stuff.
Let's go kill.
Let's put them out of their misery.
Go murder.
Let's put them out of their misery.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
That's
It's
better.
a kindness. It's a kindness. They're very sad.
It's a kind of mercy.
Yes.
If you guys kill these creatures, are you killing 2 creatures or 4 creatures?
That depends on your
Death
your
cleric.
idea of consciousness.
Or it depends on their, again, dating status. Was it had one body, 2 bodies become one? Or
Wait,
half?
what if we get them together?
Okay.
What if we do a dating show? Okay.
They tried.
You can tell there's history there.
sorry.
You can tell there's history there. Didn't work.
Jestán interrupts. Very impatient.
yes, Jestán, let's go kill my friend. Let's go murder things.
The stupid creatures, they're easily confused. I say we split the group, attack them from both sides.
Right, and Worthy casts Shield of Faith on herself.
Okay, yes. And all right. I cast, all right, just one little thing. I learned this, been meditating on this, and I want to twin cast Haste on Rooster and Jestán.
Nice.
Oh.
What is this?
What does haste do?
So for the next minute, the first 10 rounds of the fight, you guys will have your speed is doubled. You have +2 bonus to your AC. You have advantage on dexterity saving throws, and you get an additional action on each turn that you can use for a weapon attack.
Wow.
Are you
Wow.
kidding me?
Wow.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Don't use it all.
coming
And then after 10 rounds, you lose a turn, basically. You have a turn where you can't do anything. But hopefully, this won't take that long.
Wow. Okay. Great.
Nice.
Wow.
Awesome.
So,
Do I put that
what's-
into my thing or no?
I'm not
We're,
sure.
we're just going to,
Okay.
we're just going to know that and remember that as we go. Okay.
Oh, I'm going to
So-
surge, though. That will cause a surge. That's a spell.
Yes, it will. So let's get a little wild magic. Okay, all right. Let's roll on the D100 table and see what we've got coming at us today.
Such
Let's see what we got.
All right.
Such
feel like
dummies. We've got
36.
strong number. Let's see what we got here. Pulling up the wild magic table with a 36.
Jestán has no idea what's happening.
And we're all like, come on, Jestán, get into it.
Oh, just let it wash over you, Jestán.
As you feel yourself casting haste, both you, Jestán, and Rooster just feel like super amped up. And Chowder, after you finish the cast, you feel, the circuitry start to kind of crackle.
Oh.
And all of you see these 2 little horns pop out of Captain Chowder's fuzzy panda head and start to grow. And
Uh-oh.
first it's just 1, 2, and then they start to branch. And finally, you see a huge pair of antlers growing
nice
out
buck.
the top of Captain Chowder's panda head.
Looks like I'm a 16-point panda.
They last for 24 hours. So
I hope they're forever.
Was any of that loud enough to get the Etans' attention?
no,
Oh, no.
no.
Okay,
We're gonna
good.
say
No.
This was a very silent.
No.
What you mean this? No. It's very quiet. It's very quiet. Okay. So that being said, if
just
this
in our
is a
heads.
podcast listen for y'all, this is just more. You guys should watch us live Tuesday nights. Okay. Now, Hasted. You guys are ready. So, what are you guys doing? Jestán, Rooster, you're feeling the effects of haste. Worthy,
I wanna
you're
rush
feeling pretty
in, man.
tired. Maxine
I-
comes to you and looks to you, Jestán, and says, "Yes. What can I do?"
I turn to Rooster. Don't rush in. Follow me, Naxine. Me, you, and the Dragonborn come down around the
You
south.
cannot listen to Jestán, no matter what. You cannot listen to Jestán. No, I mean, reverse it. Reverse, like,
Please let me smash. Let me go.
don't do what Jestán says. Don't do it.
Do it then.
Don't carefully follow orders.
I will
Jestán,
follow
you were
orders
saying?
so well.
I'm saying the Dragonborn, Naxine, follow me down south. The rest of you loop around them and attack from the northeastern side.
Have names.
Okay.
God.
All right.
you better
So we're gonna
believe
pull
I
you
will,
guys down the
Jestán.
map with Rooster and Maxine. Now, we're gonna say that the three of you are attacking from the northeast.
Okay.
How far away are we from that Etten?
Let's see. Oh, I'm about to lay down. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. You
What are all those things around us?
60. I know. I didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to clear all my targets. Foundry, we love
That's
it.
for the buck. That's for
Okay.
those are just local hunters looking for them.
Bugbears, I think.
Yeah.
First day of buck season.
Yeah. No.
No
You're
school.
good. You have two Ettins down here, and the other folk are on the other side. I'm gonna say Jestán, Rooster, and Naxine are all going to make stealth checks.
That's not my strength.
There we go.
And Captain and I are still invisible, right?
Yes, and I'm gonna say that Cap and Thibodeau, Worthy, you put a hand on Thibodeau, and so you're invisible now as well. All
That's
right?
actually that's not how invisibility works, though. To be fair,
I think
Oh, go
last
ahead.
time we had Thibodeau riding piggyback on Cap because it has to be something carried.
yeah.
Oh, something carried.
So
okay.
I'm no longer.
Although I cast it as a third level, so Cap and I can both be invisible. I just used a third level spell slot to cast to make two of us invisible.
Worthy walks up to Cap and is just like, "Can I ride piggyback again?"
Oh, hop on! Feels like home.
Great.
I haven't done this in a while.
So Rooster,
Kinda like clambers up.
We've got a stealth check of 11. Jestán, we've got a stealth check of 18. Okay, so Rooster, not so good. Jestán, a little better. Let's see what Naxine does, and we're going to do a group check to see if the average weighs out. All right? So,
Oh,
just see what Naxine can do here with a stealth check. All right.
He's behind John's head. What was it?
Was it? Yeah.
Was it?
Oh,
look
it was
behind
a
you.
4.
Oh.
I go, Maxine, that's okay.
Jestán.
It's okay.
Rooster
happen.
and Naxine, you are making your way south. Jestán, you can see, is deft at the landscape and is just being super careful with each footfall. Rooster, you are doing your best to follow, but you're hasted. You're just feeling like, oh, you want to just dive in there and do something. And Maxine, you feel, puts a hand on your back, Rooster. And you feel the hand rest on your back, and it's soft and comforting. And Maxine says, "We can do this. I'm excited to fight with you." And as you're just overtaken by this sense of camaraderie and maybe something else, you step directly onto this incredibly, horribly loud pile of sticks, and we will find ourselves in initiative.
Can I just quickly go,
So let's-
Maxine? Chemistry aside, we have to just be professional in this moment. Please.
Let's see what we do here. All right, we're doing pretty good. We've got Cap with an 18. We've got Worthy with a 10. Let's see. Call them out, y'all.
18.
What else we got?
19.
18, 19.
Oh, wow. All right.
Great.
14.
All
We're
right.
hungry for fighting.
I'm right at
right.
the bottom of the pile.
Oh, nuts.
Oh, do you get
close,
disadvantage?
How close were they
Yeah.
from pulling off that stealth check?
They were it would mean it was a pile of sticks, you know what I mean? Like, basically you hear the crunch and you see all four heads go 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 look out into the darkness. I need to double check to see if ETTINS have dark vision, so they may still not have your location, but they are on alert and you do not get a surprise round. All right. Rooster being the first,
I believe
you look
Jestán
over.
is the first.
Jestán,
did you get a
with a 19,
Yeah,
yes,
19.
update. Let me get a 19 in there. Thank
Okay, I
you.
have
Rooster,
another
thinking
poem.
you're first, you look and see these two ETTINS, all four heads turning to you. Let's see, these guys don't have dark vision, so they can only see as far as the firelight is. But you see them all, you see all conversations stop and them go on alert. And Jestán, you hear the one to the south say, "Hey, shut up. Somebody's out there. Let's take a look." It's your turn, Jestán.
All right, I turn to Rooster and I say, "I'll attack first, then you charge in." And I move up just to that edge of the trees, and you see just a little bit further back, so I'm right in that gap. Yeah, but just so I can see them with a straight line. And you see him kneel down and do a little incantation, and he casts Hunter's Mark on the closest Ettin.
Fantastic.
And you just see him sort of kneel on the ground and whisper, "With deadly rune from Forest Fey, I mark thee as this hunter's prey."
Ooh.
And then he takes out his oath bow.
Mm-hmm.
And he
it is
his oath bow. And I attack the first Ettin.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Rolling now.
Go ahead. Roll attack.
They're both eating.
And this will be with advantage, so I'm going to do that again. 17 on the
is
second
going
one.
to hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
And for damage, I'm going to roll this with an additional 3d6 from Hunter's Mark and the oath bow.
Sure.
Ooh, shit.
Where is that?
Stan doesn't play.
Sorry, I'm trying to... 3, roll.
So 9 damage plus 13, 21 points of damage.
And using my extra attack, I'm going to do the exact same thing again.
Isn't it 22?
22, thank you. Please check my math. Please. I was told that there would be no math.
DM, are you ready? I'm going to do the same thing again with my extra attack.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Alright, so I will roll with the oath bow. Go away. There we go.
Gonna take down these Ettins by himself.
Roll with advantage.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Great. That hits. Go ahead and roll damage. 19
Same
to
thing.
hit.
And 3d6.
5 points of damage.
Wait, there's going to be another... Sorry.
Yep. And another 11 points of damage coming in.
Woo.
Rooster, Naxine, you see Jestán drop down to a knee, and quicker than either of you can blink, 2 arrows fly across the space and hit the Ettin, one in, I'll say, one shoulder and the other, as a huge roar erupts, and you see this Ettin begin to stand up, and in one hand pick up a battle axe, and the other hand pick up its morning star. Up next. Is that all you want to do, Jestán, on your turn? I mean, is that all you want to do?
Yeah, I'm still sort of slightly obscured in those trees, so I'm going to stay right there, kneeling down.
Absolutely. Up next, Rooster, your turn. What would you like to do?
Rooster, between this haste and Naxine being so hot and Jestán.
Wait, would I get a third attack with the haste?
Oh shit! Yes.
Does that add another one to my extra attack that I already have?
Yes, if you normally have an
2
extra
attacks, you get
attack,
third attack.
you get an additional attack.
Is it a melee attack or no?
A weapon attack.
DM.
Weapon attack includes the oath bow.
sorry.
Go ahead for a third attack.
As those 2 arrows hit, Jestán is already notching another arrow.
God.
Go ahead and roll.
So the better one there would be a 14. Does that hit?
14 is gonna... Yes, it's gonna hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. And then my d6.
8 points of damage.
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
Plus-
Oh my gosh.
My gosh.
Another 4 on top of that. Wow.
Little baby arrow. Only 12.
So just thump, thump, thump. It's hard to see Jestán's arms move. They're moving so fast as 3 arrows fly through the air. And Jestán, you hear this whisper of an elven voice come into your ears as you feel not only your hunter's mark, but the oath bow attune to this enemy, and know that you will have advantage on this enemy as long as this enemy is alive with the oath bow. You'll have disadvantage on any other enemy. Fantastic turn. All right.
Wow.
Rooster, you're up. Hasted.
So Rooster is having all these feelings and is getting very confused about double negatives and if Rooster should follow Jestán or not. That Rooster is feeling very angry and enters into a rage. And for Rooster's bonus action of entering into the rage, they choose the path of the beast, and they're going to erupt these giant claws, sort of like Wolverine claws, out of their hands that have 2 attack per turn, whatever. And so then Rooster is also going to attack recklessly, which is I'm going to have advantage on this Ettin. And hold on, I'm looking at my flow chart, and I'm going to I don't have my shield, but my AC. Okay, great. So I'm gonna just go 30 feet.
First, you've got to get
right?
there. 30 feet.
How many feet?
So you can get.
How?
This is about 30 feet.
No, I'm gonna
here.
dash
Rooster
then.
has Rooster has double movement
Movement
speed.
with haste, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
do.
60.
And you, I think, have gone up to 40, so you can go 80.
Yeah.
I can go 80 feet.
Wow.
Am I anywhere close to them now, though?
Oh yeah.
You're there.
You burst
there?
into the firelight. And I'm going to say that you're running, and as you're running, you see these 3 arrows fly past you. And they
That's so cool!
run into this Ettin, who is just like trying to pick up its weapons, but is sort of stumbled back with these just onslaught of arrows. And what are you doing?
I want to take up my freaking warhammer with both hands, and I say, "Too bad you aren't in love." And then I smash them in the head. One head.
Okay, go ahead and roll attack
And so I get
with advantage.
advantage.
Yes, on your first attack with reckless attack.
18.
Go ahead and just see if you crit.
Nice.
And
That's
I
gonna
critical
go ahead
failed on the
and-
second one, so
Hit. So go ahead and
18.
roll some damage with your warhammer.
okay. And because it's both hands, it's 1d10, right?
Correct.
Oh, great.
Here it comes. 14 points of damage
Oh my gosh.
coming at us from Rooster as
And then-
Oh my
you
God.
slam into its belly. It cries
And-
out again. Mhm, go ahead.
And then Rooster drops the warhammer into one hand, takes up the claw, and goes slash, slash as
Wow.
a bonus attack. Or not as a bonus attack, but as a her second attack.
Great.
second
Okay,
action.
so go ahead and roll attack for
Attack.
the first swipe.
Okay, that would be a 9 plus, that'd be a 15.
15's going to go ahead and hit. Roll attack for the second one. Both of them hit. Go ahead and roll damage for the
Nice.
first. The 15 and an 18. 7 points of damage with the first.
My gosh. Y'all, this Eden's almost dead.
8 points of damage
Guess
on the
what?
second.
With haste, I get one more swipe with the claws.
Go ahead.
All right, and so then
Wow.
Rooster
Nice.
slashes down one more time.
Or I think it can be a weapon attack. Just
Can be
FYI.
weapon attack.
It says it can. The action can be used
Dope.
for weapon attack. Yeah.
Also, don't I
It-
get +2 melee? Anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. So then, so then I grab. Rooster grabs the warhammer again with both hands and smashes the other head.
We haven't been applying, I don't believe we've been applying your
I don't think so.
4 plus 3, your rage damage bonus. So, I believe at level 6, your rage bonus is +2. Mm-hmm. So, with each strike that you've just made, we're adding 2 more damage.
Eden's dead.
Dead. It's dead.
3
Oh
arrows
my
flying
gosh.
through, slam into the Etten. Rooster runs up, sprinting, and just slams into it with their warhammer, and then swipes twice, and its guts just spill out. You see 2 dumbfounded looks on the heads above you as this Etten drops to
my
the
God.
ground.
I cast Shield of Faith for nothing.
And I was like,
and-
We're about to get a nap.
and that's it. That now I'm done.
Cap,
I use my
it's
extra
your
attack. I use my
turn.
bonus action.
Cap, you have dark vision. I'm going to say that you see this go down. It's tough to see. I'm going to say you see one large figure sort of hulking over this cart here drop to the ground, and you don't really know why. All right, there was like a cry out in pain. What would you like to do?
How far away am I from the standing one?
Let's check it. 75 feet.
All right. Okay. I'm going to cast Tasha's Mind Whip on it at the 3rd level.
Okay.
You physically lash out one creature. It must make an intelligence saving throw. Failed save. It takes 3d6 psychic damage. Can't take a reaction until the end of its next turn. And on its next turn, it can only move, do an action, or do a bonus action. One of those 3.
What's it got to beat?
14.
It fails with a -2 to intelligence. So, go ahead and roll damage.
Yep. I'm gonna do. There's an 8. I'm gonna do a meta magic heightened spell to re-roll up to 2 of the dice
Great.
for 1
Wow.
sorcery point. So I'm gonna
Just go ahead and roll
re-roll the
2d6,
ones.
the 2 ones, yeah.
Yeah. That's better.
Great. Okay, so that's going to be your original damage was a 6 + 1 + 1. Now this is a 6 + 3 to 9 + 5 is 14.
14.
So I already applied this. Great. Okay, so you get, let's say, it's great. And can you just remind me of what the other ability is on Tasha's Mind Whip after the damage if they fail?
No reaction, so no opportunity. They can't do opportunity attacks. And then on their turn, they can move or do an action or do a bonus action. But not all
Okay,
three.
great. Interesting. So I'm going to say that this affects both of the heads. So what you're seeing, Chowder, is this one that's standing. It's looking in the direction of its fallen comrade, and you can hear one of the heads that was sort of a little bit sadder cry out in this sort of mournful wail as the other one starts to panic. But then as this spell wraps itself around both of their heads, they both kind of totter to the side for a moment and look quite dazed. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
No, I think I want to stay here. I feel like I'm hidden from that. I can't be seen by this Etten, right?
Absolutely. Totally.
Okay.
You're feeling pretty confident that you're hidden. Up
right,
next,
keep
we've
it that
got Thibodeau. You see Chowder reach out with this spell, and the Etten take some damage and look fairly dazed, to say the least. What would you like to do while invisible?
So Chowder's visible now, right? Because
He cast a
Chowder
spell,
attacked.
right?
Yeah, cast a
Yes.
spell. Is that Etten? Well, is the Etten like
Etten-
wearing anything like metallic or holding anything metallic?
It's picked up its Morning Star. And
Yes.
its battle axe. The Morning Star has this long shaft of metal that the battle axe has a wooden hilt, or whatever, however you refer to it. Yeah.
I'm gonna cast heat metal on the Morning Star.
Okie dokie. Go ahead and read that spell description.
Yes. So it basically has to drop it, or if it doesn't drop, I'll read it. It's long, but it's 2d8 fire damage.
And there's no save? Is it a dexterity save?
No, there's no.
Okay,
There's no
great.
save.
It just
Yeah.
happens. Great.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll damage. Wow.
I'm casting it at level 2.
2d8.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
So,
All right, 4 points.
4 points.
Yes, 4 points of damage come through as this very confused Etten tries to pick up its Morning Star, and anybody watching can just see it glow red as it cries out in pain, dropping the Morning Star. Okay, anything else you want to do on your turn, Thibodeau?
Nope, that's it.
Great. Worthy, you are up. What would you like to do as you see this Etten cry out, confused, dropping its Morning Star?
How far away am I from the hurt Etten?
I think it was about 75 feet, 80 feet, something like that.
All right, I want to move to within 60 feet of it, just at the end of
Okay.
60 feet. And as I move, I kind of like my hands like this, and I cast Spiritual Weapon
Ah, great.
at this Etten.
You see
Nice.
a spiritual weapon appear.
Cool.
You like
So this
Oh.
There's an
Weapon.
actual floating mace there. Floating Morning Star.
that? Yep.
Well, so actually, can I say what it really is,
Yeah.
Joey?
Yes, you can. Yes, of course you
Okay,
can.
so for the podcast listeners,
For the
on our graphic,
podcast.
it looks like a mace,
Yes,
which is amazing. You should absolutely watch this stream. I can't believe Toby did this. But what this floating weapon looks like that just like towards this Etten is a red hot brand made of 3 triangles at its tip that can scald, and it goes up towards this Etten and casts 8 points of damage, and I'm going to add a touch of death to that.
Nice.
Okay. Does it
Which
need to
adds-
make an attack? Do you need to make a melee attack first to see if it hits, or is it a save?
Oh, I did.
Shit.
My attack was 23. to hit.
So sorry.
A 23
Thank you.
to
23 to
hit.
hit. Yeah, it's going to go ahead and hit. It takes 11 points of damage as this fiery brand just sinks into its back and pulls out, pulling like this
And
sort of
because
burnt
I'm using-
flesh off of it.
Channel Divinity,
Mm-hmm.
Touch of Death. It deals an extra 17 points of damage.
Dead gum.
How'd you get that number? Is that just always that? Oh.
Dead gum.
It's leveled up. I have a question though too. Does the second
Go
head
ahead.
count as a different creature for my bonus action?
Why do you ask?
Because I can use spiritual weapon again as a bonus action on a creature within
Sure,
5
why
feet of the
not?
first creature I hit. Yes, I'm going to use
Yay!
spiritual
I'll give it to
weapon
you. I'll allow
again.
it.
Our
Okay,
DM is the
great. Go ahead
best,
and-
y'all.
You heard it here first, ladies and germs.
All right, spiritual weapon again as a bonus action on the second
Coming
head.
at us. Coming at this Etin.
23 to hit.
23 to hit.
Okay.
And that's
Oh
going
my
to go
gosh.
ahead and hit 6
3 points of
It-
damage.
Hot dice.
6 points of damage.
and you don't get touch of death again, right? That would be way too.
I mean, I could use it again.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna add 17
Okay.
points of damage to that.
Heck!
Yeah.
Screams fill the surrounding reverberate hills as this Etin is just in a spot. It is not feeling good about itself, its life, or its current situation. Worthy, anything else you want to do? Oh, wait a minute. Hold the phone. Worthy,
What?
you're exhausted. You need to re-roll both
Yeah.
of those attacks.
But that was, it says ability checks, not attack.
Exhaustion?
Exhaustion, first level is ability checks only, not attack.
Ah, way to do your homework. Okay, great. Thank you very much. This Etin is not feeling great. Not feeling great, ladies and germs. Great. Okay.
Guys, I can D&D now.
You guys are getting really
That's
good
the
at
next
this game.
sweatshirt.
I can do
D&D
D&D.
Not this.
Hey,
Etin's turn.
Maxine, if you wanna get in on this, I'd recommend jumping in.
Oh, yes, this is quite exciting. You hear Maxine yell now confidently across the space. It is this Etin's turn. This Etin, I mean, you can see now that there is blood pouring out of the wound on its back. It is so confused because of Tasha's mind. Whip
Whip.
sliver. I'm still learning. Whip. It can only do one. It can only attack, use a reaction, or move. Yeah. It begins to stumble away, crying out. Jestán, you hear the conversation of, "What is happening? Why does this always happen to me?" And the other one saying, "Stop, just run as fast as you can." As it makes its way out of the camp, it's going to, I think that's all it can do is move its movements because it can't dash. Maxine, it is your turn. And Maxine is going to say, "Hey, Chowder, check this out." She casts Fly as she rises off the ground. Or is she going to do that?
Oh.
No, 'cause she wants to use... She runs forward.
Oh, all right, running.
And-
oh, pretty good.
And then
You can see that there is some electrical energy happening between her hands as she casts... Where is it? Lightning.
Cool.
She should have it. She'll just do magic missile. That'll be fine. So you see these 3 bolts of energy begin to circle around her body as she begins to make these hand gestures that look like some kind of sort of swirling storm. And these 3 bolts of energy fly out and strike the Ettin.
Nice.
1d4. Let's see. And they're auto hits, so they automatically hit. And oh, not so good. Anyway, takes 5 points of damage. Almost there. As she Captain Chowder, you see her just go like, almost.
5 points.
And it's the top.
How close?
I mean, this Ettin looks like it's on its last legs. It is just hobbling away. You can hear that the head with the red paint is just... all of you can hear that this beast is just weeping as it tries to get away from its attackers. Jestán, top of the round.
Yeah, Jestán is going to sort of move in, so he's got a clear line of sight with... do I have a clear line of sight over that little...
Yes, you do.
...thing next to the Ettin?
Yeah, you do. You can basically see it right in between this tree and this tent.
And he briefly touches the ground again, and you watch the hunter's mark, which was sort of this ruin-looking welt on the dead Ettin, transfer to the other one, which he can do once the prey is dead. And he is again going to unleash with the Oath Bow. And I was wrong last time. It's not an extra 3d6. It's 3d6 from the Oath Bow and an extra d6 on top of that from the Hunter's Mark. So it's actually going to be an extra 4d6. So I'm going to roll this first Oath Bow attack with advantage. Whoops.
Wow.
gonna
19's going to go ahead and hit. Roll some damage just because it's fun to roll some dice.
And an extra 4d6. Oh, that's a d8. Sorry, kids. 2, 3, 4. Roll.
17 points of damage. Dead.
I turn back to Rooster and I say, "Well done, Dragonbone."
You're not too bad yourself, elf guy.
I'm going to say
Well.
all of y'all.
All right, that wasn't such a chore.
I'd like to search the body, please.
Right.
Oh yeah, and what
I
are
play
these
Dungeons and Dragons.
What are these carts and stuff around? Yeah, I want to
Blanzini.
go through that. Oh yeah, Blanzini.
Yeah,
I want to
sure.
look through Blanzini's wares.
Yeah, I want to search for
Okay.
diamonds.
Okay.
I want costumes.
Diamonds.
I want any magical items if there are any in there.
Okay, great.
And I turned in. Can I just turn to Maxine and just give her a little wink?
Go
all.
ahead and make a charisma check with advantage.
Okay. Oh man, this is a big moment.
My spiritual
big
weapon's
moment.
still floating there. Worthy hold up her hand.
I would just say it's like right next
it
to
kind
you.
of swoop, and then
charisma?
vapors into my hand like Mjolnir.
Great.
I literally can't find my charisma, which I think says something.
I mean,
Where's charisma?
Right up top. It's right up top.
right up top there.
row,
It's just in the top of your
vertical,
skills.
horizontal row.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have it.
No, it's in on your
You
first. Your strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence.
Yeah, up top.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, it's -1, but I have advantage, so
Negative.
we'll see.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Rooster rolled a 17.
Oh,
A 17 and a 0, which
And then a
seems
0.
on brand.
Yeah. With advantage.
well, I'm gonna bend luck on the 17.
No.
I'm gonna add
Oh my gosh.
4 to that.
21?
Okay.
Chowder the wingman.
Y'all, Valentine's Day is coming up and the familiars look out for each other.
I just give Cap a little thumbs up.
Chowder, as you're moving into the firelight, you can see Rooster breathing heavy and Maxine walk up behind them. And Maxine has a frustrated look on her face, having not sort of, taken that last Ettin down with magic missile. And you see in that moment Rooster turn to Maxine. And what does it look like when you bend luck?
Well, in this case, Rooster just catches my eye as Rooster is like going to face Maxine, and I look at Rooster and just give a good hearty nod.
Great. And Rooster, you feel just confidence flood your body as you turn to Maxine. And Maxine looks at you. And Maxine puts her hand on your shoulder and says, "That was fantastic."
Rooster, I think Rooster's smart enough to not say anything and just like gives a little wink and then starts cleaning the blood off. It's very cool. Very cool for Rooster. Cool. We're just not gonna fuck with it.
After a moment, you, Rooster, and you, Jestán, feel the effects of haste leave you, and a lethargy. The whole world slows into this kind of molasses time for a moment until it passes. But the haste wears off of you. And
hasted.
You are now all in the midst of this camp. And the map doesn't necessarily show it, but around this camp, the objects are strewn that seem to have been the unfortunate inhabitants' belongings. And this cart here on its sides, it's just so brightly colored with all of these different just vibrant greens and reds and purples and pinks. Chowder, you said that you wanted to... Does everybody want to just sort of investigate the surrounding area? Okay, go ahead. Everybody make an investigation check.
I'm going to use my inspiration to cancel out my exhaustion.
Jestán isn't doing investigation. He's just collecting his arrows from the eaten corpses.
With a 4.
Okay, I Tides of Chaos it, so I got a 16.
Okay, great. So we've got a 16 from Rooster. 16. We've got a 16 from Chowder. Okay.
I'm going to add a bardic. Well, no, never mind.
Okay.
Never mind. I'll take my 9.
You sure?
All right.
Yeah.
You'll take your 9.
You see what looks to be the belongings of probably 6 or 7 folk. Their bodies are nowhere to be seen. It seems like, I'll say, both Chowder and Rooster. Rooster kind of looking at the tracks and Chowder just kind of putting this sort of mental math together. You see that the story was probably the ETTINS surprised them. They tried to run from camp, and the initial attack took place away from camp, and then the ETTINS brought their meals back to this camp. So you don't see any remains of bodies, but you see that this was a traveling circus troupe. And in each of the tents, you can see personal effects, personal belongings. There are, it seems like a few of them had journals. There is definitely this sort of motley garb of a clown. There seem to be instruments used for juggling, various those sort of bowling pin type things. There are what look at first to be sharp, but immediately upon touching them are dull bladed daggers and swords, and various pictures of what are probably these folks' family members. And you find amidst the tents, I'll just say, you find, come now. I have it up here, just getting my notes. I'll say 3 pieces that look to be of some kind of moneyed worth. You find a set of silverware in this small mahogany box. Out of place. Why would someone be carrying this around? But you open it, and that looks to be worth about 25 gold pieces. Rooster, you find this pair of engraved dice. And upon looking at them, you see that they are bone. Probably look to be worth about 25 gold pieces. And Chowder, in going through the tents, you also find these gold vestments that are basically like, it's this cloth that as you just whip it out, you see that it reflects the firelight in a beautiful way. So 3 art objects, each worth 25 gold pieces. Chowder, you then set your sights on the cart. And you head in, and you have to duck low to sort of get underneath the canvas roof. And you see that there was a small table that on it has the now cold remnants of dinner. There is a candlestick with a candle that the candle has now burned all the way down to the nub. But it makes sense, the silverware, because whoever inhabited this cart had set themselves like a full set meal. And it looks to be like this sort of haunch of rabbit leg and these boiled vegetables. And then there's a little wine glass with what looks to be a half-drunk glass of wine. And it looks like the ETTINS didn't make it inside this cart just yet. Right up above the table, you see a poster. And on the poster, it says Blork and Blanzini's Waterhavian Wonder Show. And you see a picture of what looks to be a gnome and a human in this long red coat, and this what looks to be halfling clown with this large bugbear standing behind all of them with its arms crossed, all with these huge smiles on their face. And with the investigation check that you made, you see that behind the poster, there's like a little crack, and it looks to be a false wall. And you...
Can I kind of like poke at it with my antler? Like, what's this?
Yes. And it creaks open. You find a small, long, skinny wand. Simple.
Now we're talking. Oh, yes.
With a white ivory handle. And just behind it, you see a small, hinged box. Take them both out. You open up the box, and you see that there's a ring inside. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
19. Pretty good.
You see... Nice roll, the 19. Upon inspection of the wand, one end of it has this clear bulb. And that, unmistakably is a wand of magic detection. And this wand has 3 charges. While holding it, you can expend 1 charge as an action to cast the detect magic spell from it. The wand regains its expended charges daily.
Yes!
And on to the ring, you take it out, and you see that the ring has... It's a ring for 2 fingers. And there's this arcane writing around it. And you see that this is a ring of spell storing. Yes. And this ring stores spells that are cast into it, holding them until the attuned wearer uses them. And the ring can store up to 5 spells of various levels. And
Whoa.
you slip it on, and with this high of an Arcana check, I'm going to say, I don't know if this is totally,
You're the DM.
hardcore D&D rules. There are 5 casts of Disguise Self.
Oh, well. Right. Oh. Well. I think I saw this circus once before. They were pretty good. That's it.
It's a nice story. Can we please rest?
Yes,
Please. I'm so
Jestán
tired.
shouts to the group. You done treasure hunting? I say we bed down for the night. We've got a long journey tomorrow.
Gosh, this guy is just...
DM, what's the weather right now?
Good question.
Is it cold, warm?
It's a warm evening. Today was a nice clear day, a few clouds in the sky, but not too much. But as you look up, Jestán, you see that there are fewer stars in the sky than you saw before. And you can see that the clouds are beginning to gather. You don't know if it's going to rain. You don't think it's going to rain tonight, but you think that there might be a chance of rain either tomorrow or the next day.
Jestán says, Tiefling, if you're not too tired, go grab some firewood. The rest of you, bed down.
Sorry, why is that my job?
Yes, the poor Doomguard needs to get some
Doomguard.
30 winks. Doomguard, excuse me.
Thank you.
I'll get the wood. I'm in a pretty chipper mood.
Can I just get everyone to circle around the fire here a minute, so I can put up some shelter for us?
Oh, sure.
If you're all willing,
Yes.
gather around. And I pull a small round gem out of my pocket and trace it in a ring 10 feet around the fire. And this dome appears from the line that I drew in the ground. And inside it's warm and dry, and we're safe in there for the night. You can leave if you want, but I'm gonna stay inside.
Is there a climate control inside? Like, is it set? Like, is it comfortable inside? If it can be, can it be different from the outside?
Yes, yeah. You want me to turn the heat up a little bit, Captain?
Well, I don't feel a thing. I'm not able to. But I'm thinking about you all.
I run hot.
And I just wave my hand, and it just gets a little bit cooler inside.
What do you like, Jestán? Do you like a 71? You a 68er? What's your...
Warm enough for you? Do you need more firewood to be nice and cozy?
Jestán
cold.
looks at the group, and he just says, get some rest. We head out at first light. And he exits the tent and fashions himself with his cloak. Actually, he makes a hammock in one of the tree branches nearby, and he sort of sleeps up, and he gets sort of a sleeping area up in a little bough.
Okay. All right.
As Rooster is falling asleep, just, kind of spread out, just so exhausted from haste, Rooster says, I have this crazy idea. I'm just wondering if we're wanted. Maybe we should, be the circus instead, and, no one's looking for a circus. And just, conks out.
And
Worthy kind of, rolls over on her side so she can see Cap and is just like, hey, Cap. And kind of nods her head out towards where Jestán left. Do you trust him? Something feels off.
In what way? Speak on it.
Making me go get firewood. I don't know. I don't think he likes tieflings very much.
I think maybe he's got a little crush on you.
No. Ugh. Blah. Ugh. Gross. Like that.
Oh, no. Why do you say that? Why curse yourself like that? Surely you consider yourself worthy of love?
Whoa.
Wow, that caught me unawares. Worthy's just like, people tend not to like me.
Well, I'm not so sure, Worthy. I mean, just in this hut, you've got 3 other souls that I think, at worst, would say they like you. Hammock Man, Jestán, I think he's on the way. In fact, I think maybe he more than likes you. So, I don't know. You're 0 for 4.
Worthy kind of rolls over the other way, just sort of like grumbles, but then as she's like looking at the wall, falling asleep, there's a little faint smile on her face.
Well,
Maxine goes over to you,
stand-
Thibodeau. Captain Chowder, you're going to stand watch?
Yeah. Can I step out of the hut for that, or does that ruin the spell somehow?
You can leave. I just can't step out.
Okay.
So if you want to go out and get some air, Captain.
Yeah, I'll just
Go
keep
right
watch
ahead.
over the night. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Maxine comes over to you, Thibodeau, and says, Sir Thibodeau, a word.
Yeah. What is it?
Well, we haven't gotten a chance to speak, and at least I haven't worked up the... I don't know. I have a question. In your time with the Lord's Alliance, have you ever heard of a group that carries a tattoo of a squid? Make a history check.
Squid. Squid. Let me think here. Where is the tattoo?
Oh, it's like the Zentarum have the flying snake. Ah. It's like the Zentarum, how they have the flying snake. It's a mark of their loyalty to the Zents. It can be anywhere as long as you have it, you can show it, and... have you heard of them? You have heard of them with that
Yes.
20 of a roll.
Yes, I have.
Thibodeau,
This man.
as your alter ego Claymore Hackett, you have spent time in many a sultry location. And recently, I'll say before you met up with the familiars, you did begin to see this mark on folk. And took note of it. And these folks seem to be of the most desperate, and as sometimes comes in a dangerous world when folk are filled with desperation, some of the most violent actions that you've seen. In bars, alleyways, in some of the areas where the Lord's Alliance doesn't necessarily have a very large presence. And you had heard tell that this is something called the Mark of the Squid. Different than the Zentarum. Mm-hmm. You can choose whether you want to relay this to Maxine or not.
Yeah, I do. Are they called the Mark of the Squid, or are they what's the gang called?
Yes. John, I'm just completely blanking.
I mean, I think they're referred to by folks who sort of know this tattoo, right? Colloquially as just bearing the mark of the squid.
Yes.
I don't think you know the official name of whatever it is this symbol stands for.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I had overheard the High Lord, this is Maxine speaking of concerns over the growing numbers of folks bearing the mark of the squid. And and you can see a look of disgust flash across her face. One of her new advisors, coming from Baldur's Gate, a higher up in the Church of Lathander, Dawnbringer Sane, seems to share her concern and always brings them up before any other group. My concern is the Zentarum, especially after losing Shalvis to them. It feels like, as you have rightly pointed out, that the Zentarum are moving into these towns and settlements, taking advantage of vulnerable folk after a giant attack. I don't know. It just seems like the world is collapsing in on itself. Every day I feel like I'm hearing of another faction that just wants to witness its demise. I wanted to see if you had heard anything. It doesn't make me feel good that you have. Confirms that this group's numbers seem to be growing.
I wasn't aware that they were spreading any further than bar rooms and back alleys. But we'll certainly keep an eye out for them.
Yes. Yes. Anyway, this was fun today. It's been a while. The hill giant attack, and now this, feeling young again. And at this, she catches herself, and you can see in the chromatic glow of your hut that you've cast that her eyes are a bit wet.
And
she says,
I reach into my pack and I put a blanket around Maxine's shoulders.
Thank you.
Say, get some sleep.
Thank you. I miss them. Miros. Orin. And Shalvis.
Well, you made them proud today, Maxine.
Yes.
We're going to take care of them giants. Try to get some shut-eye. You're going to need your rest. We need you.
Yes.
Does she seem to be drifting off at all?
A good idea. As she lies down, you can see that, I mean, being an older wizard, it's been a long day, and she rolled well on her constitution roll, but soon she's asleep.
And is her spellbook handy?
You absolute.
Oh my god.
Yes. Yes.
Can I just thumb through it real quick and see if there's anything?
100%.
There's anything
She's asleep. I'm going to say you wait until she's asleep. And Worthy and Rooster, Worthy, you're really tired. What are you guys doing? I should have asked before this, but Worthy, do you feel that you would still be trying to be awake, or are you feeling like you would be asleep?
I'm still I'm trying to get to sleep, but I'm still also kind of just thinking over the events of the day, that real talk that Cap had with me, and also my spiritual weapon, which was a strange shape.
Did have a point of exhaustion. Just putting that out there.
Yeah. So probably off to sleep pretty quickly.
Rooster has been
I'm gonna
asleep,
say-
and Rooster is dreaming of Goose.
Oh,
Okay. I want to hear about Rooster's dream in just a minute, but
Okay.
Worthy, Worthy, go ahead and make a Constitution check. We'll see if you stay awake or not. With disadvantage, I'll say. You're gonna have to beat a 10. First is a 15. Let's see what the second
15.
roll is.
natural 20.
Your mind
She's
keeps
awake.
you awake. This sense of distress. You'd like to be asleep. You want to fall asleep, but there's something about what you expected your spiritual weapon to be as you cast it and what came out. You've seen that symbol before. These 3 triangles, burning red hot. You've seen them branded onto other tieflings. And the sense of disease keeps you awake. What's your passive perception? Pop quiz.
Would that just be my perception? Oh, passive.
It is 10
perception.
plus your wisdom modifier, he said.
Okay.
Thinking of the rules.
My wisdom modifier is +3.
Thibodeau, you trying to hide what you're doing?
No, not necessarily. I mean,
Okay. All right.
I think I believe everyone's asleep, I guess.
Okay. So, Thibodeau, you leaf through Naxine's spellbook and see a few spells that I will tell you in just a moment. And Rooster, you fall asleep. And
Yes.
immediately you feel cold in a deeply, deeply comforting way. And you open your eyes, and there's that sense that you know that you're dreaming, but that wish that you could just stay dreaming and you don't want to think about it too hard or else you'll know you'll wake up, because you can feel the snowflakes beginning to fall and land on your skin. And you feel something very cold and wet just slurp the side of your face and look over and see Goose with his big dumb face just licking you up and down. And you sit up, give Goose a huge hug, your dragonborn arms just barely able to wrap themselves around this huge dire wolf. And you look around and you see your folk about you. And you feel at home. Thibodeau, I'm going to get you what the spells are in Naxine's book in between sessions.
Sure.
And
So
Yeah,
Worthy,
he's just-
Worthy didn't
he's
wake
just
up.
like-
Did I see?
you saw the whole thing, Worthy, and you're watching this as Thibodeau reaches and begins to just start leafing through the book. Thibodeau, you look up and you can see now. Well, you can decide whether you were looking around to notice if anybody saw you do it, but Worthy, you are in full view of this. And Rooster,
Can I hear it from outside?
I would
Some
think
rummaging?
that you're... Sure, yeah. Yeah, your head's on a swivel. You're doing a watch. I'm going to say make a perception check. And Thibodeau, just go ahead and... yeah, how would we do this? Cap, just go ahead and roll a perception check. And just if you get above a 10, we're going to say that you saw it.
Well, am I aware of where Captain is outside? Because I can see out, but you can't really see into the...
Oh, yeah.
You
I would
can't
say
see
you are.
into the hut.
If I could hear something going on inside when I expect him to be asleep, like rustling or something, I would say in this moment I would stick in my head.
I'm also not totally sure if you can hear what's inside from the outside. Let me just double check that.
Ooh. Okay.
You double check. Rooster, you're in this reverie of cold. And feeling calm, your senses up, and you're in your natural habitat. The smell is of winter and of fresh snow. And then you see him, your brother, walking towards you. And Goose turns and begins to growl. And then you look around, and all of your folk are gone. And you're in the woods now, as dreams sometimes do, just shift. And there's a tall mountain behind you. And the ground around you, you're in this clearing, seems to be shaped somehow, but it's hard to make out exactly why. And your brother is walking up to you, grinning. Thibodeau, what'd you find out about?
So you can see clearly what's going on outside, and I can decide how clear it is from the outside looking in.
Okay.
So I think if I knew that Captain was out there, I think I might have just dimmed it a little bit so he couldn't.
And what about hearing?
And I didn't see anything about hearing.
Okay, so Cap, just go ahead and make...
But I had dark vision, so I'd see.
Thibodeau wasn't trying to make any bones about it. So, Cap, go ahead and just make a perception check. It's just not a very loud sound going through.
No.
It sounds like
13. Yeah, listening for any sounds that are sort of beyond the natural extent of the surrounding area, you hear some rustling going on, and you head back inside the hut, and you see Thibodeau looking at Maxine's book. You look over and you see Worthy awake, you see Rooster asleep, and you see Maxine asleep. Worthy, you're awake, watching this happen. You see Cap walk back in.
Hey, lights out.
Just come here. And I'm like copying with like a charcoal pencil, so that later I can buy like the proper ink and stuff and like do the right calligraphy on it to make it work.
So I'm going to say that all happens pretty quickly, though. So the sound of you bringing the book out, Worthy, you sort of look over and you don't really get to too much of the copy down just yet.
I don't know what any of it means. I'm just copying it, you know.
Cap,
do I know? Because my spells work different. I don't write it. Do I know what he's doing?
Yeah, I'll say you've seen Thibodeau do this before, maybe once before, heard him speak about it. I believe it's fairly well known that wizards, that some folk learning magic do it through the copying of the written incantation of the spell.
All right. Thibodeau, eyes on your own paper.
Not nice to touch other people's things without asking.
And I step back out.
Okay.
And I am stepping back out.
Yeah, thank you. See you later, Cap.
Something of a bookworm, a little bit of a night owl. But, yeah, I'll get some shut-eye.
Okay.
And I can close Maxine's book and tuck it back into her bindle.
You open up her bindle and put her book back in, and all of you bed down. Jestán, already. Were you staying awake, or were you feeling pretty comfortable and you're going to sleep?
I'm pretty comfortable up in that tree hammock.
Yeah, Jestán asleep.
Long rest?
Yeah, you can go ahead and take a long rest. And I think that this is a good spot to take a pause until next week. Y'all, it has been a fantastic session, feeling how powerful we are now with our newly acquired abilities. And we will pick up next week with the morning after. This has been an episode of The Familiars. If you dug our maps, you should check out Bailey Wiki on Patreon. Super worth it, especially if you're a DM with not very much time. Bailey Wiki on Patreon. They're fantastic. I want to thank our amazing cast for joining us, but most of all, I want to thank you for watching and listening. Until next week, our intent is all for your delight. Until then, see you later.